Hey everyone, and welcome to 2023, the start of a brand new year. We are here because you're interested in the Halifax real estate market, the stats. You want to see what's going on, and we are here because I'm always going to give you the information, let you know what's going on. So we're here to check out December 2022, see how it all went. Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. We are here because you are looking to find out all the information that you possibly can about the Halifax real estate market, because that's where I'm at. Right here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, living actually in Fall River, been here about 15 years now, been a realtor for 11 years because we just tripped into a new year. And I wanted to give you all the knowledge, all the information you can to make that kind of right decision about the Halifax real estate market, certain pockets and all that good stuff. So we are here because start of 2023 in January, but we're looking back at December 2022 and we want to see what happened, because we know that since it was kind of like a tale of two halves. The first half of 2022 was kind of like 2021, a little bit crazy, still going way over asking price. Houses were selling really, really quickly. The second half of 2022, well, that's what changed. Definitely down to, well, I would say 100% down to interest rates going up, but also a change in sentiment, I think, to buyers. They were probably just starting to look at the market in whole and say, do you know what? It's getting a little overheated. The prices, how much we're going over asking price, let's just put this thing on a little bit of a timeout here. So that's what happened in the second half, and we're looking at December. Now, first thing we always focus on, because we kind of do this in the same order, is average selling price. And the average selling price for December was $534,262. Let's call it 534,000. Interestingly enough, that was up 1% on last month, November, which I kind of didn't think. I thought we were doing a little bit of a downward trend and we're probably going to come down closer to the 500 number, but we're not. We actually went up. Now, compared to, that was last month, 1%. Now, compared to last year, we are up 2% on last year, which is, December is one of those interesting months anyway, when you would kind of expect things to be a little bit different. We'll see later on that it comes down to volume and all that kind of good stuff. But if you look at the 1% up on last month, that was equivalent to ish $7,000. If you look at the 2% from December 2021, that puts us up about $10,000. So it was kind of a bit of a status quo month. Nothing really changed too much on that. Now, sale to list price was 99% flat. So basically 1% lower than asking price, which gave us about $5,200. And we'll go into specific markets so we can actually see a little bit more about how that actually came about and what markets drove what, because there's some good ones in there. Teaser for later on. Now, houses, the days on market, we were 32 days on market, so it's staying pretty consistent now that we're up to a month. Now, that was a lot less when you look at December last year. So, we've definitely increased the days on market, which has come as a result of more houses that have been listed, less houses being sold. So again, we'll look at all of those stuff as well, but that's basically one of the key indicators that we look at is how long a house is staying on market. So, number of units sold, let's look at that. So we sold 224 houses, down 21% on last month, down 25% on last year. So we didn't actually sell a lot of houses compared to previous year and the previous month. So, it's December. December is definitely one of those months that it just slows down, because if you think about it, really, there's at least 2 weeks out to December that kind of stop. There's not really many lawyers around, there's not a lot of finance people around. Realtors are probably taking a little bit of a break, and probably buyers and sellers are taking a little bit of a break as well. So December tends to be a slower month, so I'm not overly surprised. It's just a little bit surprising when you look at December last year, being 25% down on that. That's a good number of houses. So let's look at the number of houses that are active. We're at 459 houses active, which is down 23% on last month and up 226% on December last year. So that's when you kind of look at, like, last year, it was 318 homes were active for sale. Now we're at 460 homes active for sale. And then when you look at the months of inventory, we're at 2 months of inventory, which was more or less the same as last month, but it was only half a month of inventory when you look at December last year. So we've built up the number of houses for sale because the inventory's gone up. We've also built up the days on market. What's holding steady and strong at the moment is the average selling price. So we're not seeing like a fall off of what a lot of people have said is like, oh, you're way overheated, you're going to see prices coming down. We're not actually seeing that, and particularly in December, which is definitely a low listing month. We don't list a lot of houses in December at all. You're seeing that our prices are kind of staying steady, which leads you to kind of go back 3 years ago and say, I wonder if it was really cheap 3 years ago, because, you know, kind of ish 500, 475 to 500 feels more like a sensible average price for a market and an area such as Halifax Regional Municipality. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that we're kind of more in this ish $500,000 average price point. Now let's have a quick look at a couple of other key stats. So the number of homes that we actually listed for sale was only 165 new homes came on. Now, remember, we sold 224, we listed new homes 165. That gives us 136% sales to new listing ratio. That's what kept our months of inventory lower, because we did actually outstrip the number of new houses that we put on the market. So let's look at November. So November last year, or this year rather, was 90%. So listed more houses than we actually sold, because it was 90%. So the other way around to what we are this time. But go back to December, that percentage was 177%. So you could see, didn't list a lot, sold a ton more than we actually listed. So hence the half a month inventory and all that good stuff. So those are some of the key stats for the whole of HRM, like in general. Now let's get into some specifics, because we always want to look at the top 3 markets. Now, Lower Sackville back in number 1 position here. Average price there, $412,000. 14 days on market, so ish 2 weeks, selling pretty quick, and they have only half a month of inventory, because 23 houses sold, only 11 available for sale. So still a really hot market, and you know, $412,000, it's kind of holding its average price point. Number 2 was, let's have a look here, Timberley, Prospect, St. Margaret's Bay area. Average price point there, $478,000. 41 days on market there on average, so that's quite a creep up. 22 homes sold, 79 active, gives us a 3.6 months of inventory. Heading towards a balanced market. Still a sellers, because less than 5 months is still sellers, which is in general most of the markets here. But you can see they're starting to actually put more inventory on the market, less people buying. Days on market are taking longer, starting to slow down. Number 3 market, we are back up in East Hants, Colchester County. So we're talking Elmsdale, Enfield and Lance area up there. So their average price point, pretty strong actually, $419,000. 42 days on market, so like getting up there quite a bit, like, you know, you're getting towards a month and a half on market. 18 homes sold, 71 active, puts us at 3.9 months of inventory. So again, starting to slow down a little bit up there, more houses staying on the market. Even though the average price point, you know, it's 419, it was average of 425 listed, so that puts you at like 98.5% there. So that was the top 3 markets. So again, we've got what do we have? We had Lower Sackville, we had Timberley, Prospect, St. Margaret's Bay, and East Hants, Colchester County, numbers 1, 2, and 3. Now let's look at number 4 and number 5, just because like we need to have a little bit more perspective. We didn't sell a huge amount of homes here, so we're going to look at Bedford. Bedford was 17 homes sold, average price point there, $812,000, so pretty pricey. 50 days on market. 50 days on market is quite a long time, considering what we're all used to. So, you know, that's kind of getting towards 2 months of time to sell your property there. Interesting though, only 1.8 months of inventory, because there's only 30 homes for sale. Now, I was looking at this market in particular because there were some pretty high price homes in that area, like $812,000 on average. So there were about 7 homes there that were all sold that were over $800,000. But really interestingly, the average of just those 7 homes was $87,000 underneath asking price. So it gives you an idea that that kind of top end market, where you start getting over $750,000, $800,000, it's starting to compress. People are starting to look at some of those houses going, yeah, it's taking 50 days on market, so let's put in some kind of lower priced offers that are probably more attuned to where they should be. Because don't forget, the true price of a house is when a willing buyer and a willing seller agree on a price and the deal gets done. So a willing seller might be sitting there at 1.2 million. The willing buyer might be sitting there at 1. So somehow they have to meet on a number that they're okay with. Just so happens that a lot of these Bedford houses, it was $87,000 on average for 7 houses. Seven houses. And that gives you an idea that people are starting to go, yeah, in the higher price points, it's like, yeah, if you want to sell your house, you're going to have to come down and meet me more at the number that I think as a willing buyer is actually more appropriate for that property in that area at this particular time. So that gives you an idea of the top 4. Now, let's have a quick look as well, because Halifax North, as well as Fall River, my area, some interesting numbers there. Like average price point in Halifax North was $600,000. That was on average $25,000 under asking price. Fall River, average price point $667,000. Average of $53,000 under asking price. So you start seeing a lot of these and you start going, yeah, actually, there's definitely some market shift where some of the buyers are starting to see a little bit more of the, like, yeah, like let's get back to a normal balance here and let's kind of start making sure that we're getting value for money, that we're having financing, we're getting appraisals, water quality, quantity, septics, all of the stuff that would be in a typical market. That's what we would expect. That's what we're seeing. Wanted to have a quick check on some of the Dartmouth markets. So if you look at Southdale Manor Park, if we look at Creighton Park, Albro Lake, Montebello, Keystone, Forest Hills, all of those markets are actually holding up pretty strong. Average price points there were like kind of 465, 530, 538, 361, but all of them were 100% or more listing to sale price. So you can see that in those markets, they don't make up a huge volume of the sales. Like Falkirk, it's, what was that, 6, 12, it was around about 20 homes sold out of the total 224, so ish 10%. But when you look at the price points there and you look at the days on market and you look at the amount of inventory, those markets there in Dartmouth are holding up really well. And again, not crazy high average selling prices. I mean, 465 in Southdale Manor Park, 540 in Creighton Park, 538 in Montebello Keystone, and Forest Hills lower at 362. So you can see that people are seeing some value there, and yeah, list to sale price is still over 100% there. So still going on. And I think we covered everything there. Yeah, I mean, basically it's like December. It was a very low inventory listing month. So because we didn't list a lot of houses, we didn't sell a lot of houses comparatively throughout the other ones in the year. It's also, December is the first time that we've actually seen the new listings be lower than the sales for the whole year. So that tells you that, yeah, you know what, we didn't list a lot of homes. Now we didn't sell a lot of homes. Interestingly enough, December 2021 was exactly the same. Low listings, sales were higher. So that keeps that months of inventory like fairly standard, and we're sitting at 2. Last year it was 0.5, which was crazy low. But that gives you an idea that the market's starting to shift. So what does it mean? Well, we're coming into the January, February, March time. And I think what's happened from a lot of the listings in December is everyone said, I'm just going to wait. Like, let's just move into January, we'll get things sorted, or even February, or even March. Because we know that February, March are very strong listing months. I wish summer. Spring is starting to come and people can see light at the end of the tunnel if there's a lot of snow. No snow right here in Nova Scotia. But people are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Therefore, that's when they'll start listing. So from a buying point of view, now is your time. Like if you were looking to start getting into the market, it's like January, February, before all the listings start coming. I mean, we've still got 460 homes that are available to sell right now. So it's still a lot of inventory to look at. For the sellers, what does it mean? Well, it means you've got to be a lot more accurate with 2 things. Number 1, your pricing, and number 2, your marketing strategy. Because you need to hit as many people as possible, get those buyers, but also you want to be fairly close sale to list price. You want to keep it sharp. You don't want to be doing a lot of big price reductions. So that's what's going on in the Halifax market. If you have any questions and you're stuck around this far, then don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell. Give us a thumbs up as well, like the video, and then there are a lot more videos coming because we know in 2023 that video marketing is definitely going to be one of the big things. So we want to give you as much information as we can. But apart from that, we will see you real soon.